Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Behold, in front of you is a Commodore 1520 printer plotter. Kind of like a little cash register tape thing. Oh boy, the paper in here has been in here so long it's actually kind of yellowed, although it's not like funky thermal paper or anything. It's just, you know, it's been in there a while. So, firstly, we should plug this in and see what we see. It has on the back the typical separate power connector. It also has two serial ports. Look, it has a fancy cover to cover the paper. Isn't it magical? Oh, and over on this side is the power switch. Now, that was less than stunning. It does help tremendously if the power bar you were trying to use is plugged in. It also helps, I suppose, if the cord is plugged in. Let's just see. No, that's not working. What's going on here? Alright. Oh, something has gone astray here. What is it? I have a power bar plugged into a power bar. It is possible, in the midst of all this, I moved things around a bit to try and get a better angle on the camera, that maybe I have unplugged the power bar from, now or at least it slipped out a bit. Looking at it, it does appear to have slipped out ever so slightly. So let me just see. Ooh. Oh, golly. Before you start recording, you need to check on all these things. It is very difficult. Oh, there's a printer there. Oh, God. Okay, I think okay. That was fun. Okay, so now I think we should have power. Oh, there. So, power switch is over here. We turn it on. Interesting. Now, it made the noises. Oop. Okay, hang on. The paper has been in here for so long that it's got a twist to it. Now, it made the noises like it was trying, hello, to do its thing. Huh. Let's turn that on and off again. So what it's supposed to do on power up, oh, maybe it doesn't like the fact that this isn't on there, is to test all the pins. And it draws a little something. Okay, so obviously, well, some things on this are not happening, I can tell. Excuse my arm here. It should be much happier about squirting back to the other side there. There, it's trying to change. Okay, it's not perfect, this. It bothers me that the paper, it's funny, the paper wanted to feed when I first turned it on. Okay, it's having some issues. Oh, and I really don't want to force it. Hello. Perhaps pressing the pin change was not a good idea. Let me put this back on. Of course, the pins, which are in there, are not alive. Okay, so it's... Okay, we are having some issues here. Oh, now it is flashing. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Oh! Okay, it's now resetting itself. Oh, now it's flashing. Interesting. Well, okay, we're getting back in the game. When I press the color change, let me just take this cover back off. When I press the color change, it goes and there's red, green, something, green. Oh, maybe there's... Okay, the pens in here are not all the same, different colors. So, and I'm afraid, it's funny, I do the paper feed, it doesn't, but yet, when I turn it on and off, oh, it's fighting. No, it's flashing. Something is askew. I suspect something, oh, there, now it's flipping them around. And it is trying to draw things. Interesting. That may not change anything, but it felt good. So it is rotating the pins. When I push the paper feed, it does. It's making sounds, but it isn't doing it. Well, interesting. This little bit of technology was kind of cool in that it actually did sort of, you know, write things out. This one is having difficulties. I wonder, and I forget even what device this was. I'm assuming it was device 4. Now I'm going to put that back on. I'll flip that up so it looks all pretty. Still no paper feed. Oh. Still no paper feed. But that seems to be doing its thing. I wonder if I can gently slide this forward. I'm working in cramped conditions here, but I really did want you to have a better look at what was going on. Oh, there's something happy. I should do something with that. That's the power supply for the camera that's recording this. And it might need to be in there. Plugged in somewhere. So, there isn't really a plug to put it in that it will fit. Because you see, it's kind of wide. Oh, dear. Well, as this is the power bar I just had issues with, I don't want to hurt things. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it. You know what? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time and then find out that I have no time. So, I'm going to plug in this 64, turn on the monitor. It may be that some of the troubles we are experiencing here could be just because it's tired. Okay, so we have, why is that line? Okay, we got something going on here. Hello. The shift lock is down. Oh, okay. So, we don't have a whole lot of room here. So, but I am going to turn this off, plug in a serial cable, and then, yes. Ooh, that monitor is really looking awful on that. There, okay, so, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, there is only one serial connector on this. There is. Okay, oh, look at that. Okay, so when I turned power on to the printer plotter, it did respond the way it should, and it's like it's being reset. Oh, and now it's flashing an error. Isn't that magic? Let's try that again. So, we are going to write a wee program. And once again, I don't remember if this is device 4. It's been a while. I'm going to open 4, 4. In 20, I'm going to print number 4, comma, oops, quote, test. Oops, got some extra stuff in there. And then, of course, in 30, I'm going to close 4. Now, I'm not sure at all if this is going to do anything, because I don't remember if I've done it right. Okay, so it did nothing. It could be that it's a different device. File not found. What? File open error. Oh, God. Right. Close 4. Okay. That's not happening. What have I done? File not open error in 20. Oh, okay. Maybe then that needs to be a 3. I seem to remember it was a different device. Because then, if you had the plotter hooked up, you could also have a printer hooked up. Well, oh, okay, it just printed 3 on the screen. I guess, yeah, that went well. Well, I'm going to move this up here. Maybe it's 5. It has been, oop, you almost remember to press return or it doesn't change it. Run. Well, that went well. It did nothing. But it's still doing its little self-testy thing. So, I can't imagine the device number of this is that strange and exotic. I know the tape, I think the tape drive is 1 and 2. 3, I don't know. Oh, let's just try. We'll try 6. Ah! Something happened. Okay, so it's device 6. Interesting. So, I think I'm going to make this line longer. Testing this Commodore 1520 printer plotter which seems tired. Let's do a question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. So that will certainly get it to do more stuff. Okay. It's having trouble. It's having trouble with the return part. So as much as I don't, but it is sort of doing its thing. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to turn it off again. Every time I do this, the print head does seem to try to move over, but it's not getting there. Aha! Okay, it moved over. Okay, I'll try that again. Okay, obviously there are some sort of issues. Okay, now it's doing its thing. Sort of. Okay, now it's flashing red again. Now it's flashing red again. Isn't that magical? It does seem that age has not been friendly. I'm thinking okay, maybe no, it's not quite got its thing. I'm thinking it's just off kilter. No, it's gonna flash red again. Nope. See, basically, it's got a little cartridge in there, and the pins flip around, and it's close. But it's not, it's you know what, it's off. See, right now it's kind of slamming itself up against the edge. Oh, what's it doing? That's different. Okay, it looks like it's happy. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a bunch of this. Because it seems that when it moves too far over to the right, it doesn't want to come back. Let's try this. Okay, so it looks also, no, it's out of kilter in that it's not, I can see the pen. Okay. The pen is not in the right position exactly. And, okay, so it's off kilter somehow. I don't want to send it to the other side. And the paper feed is still not happening. I'm going to shut it off again, which may be a mistake. I think it was. Alright, I'll try that. Okay. Definitely there are issues. Oh, that looks better. Oh, almost. But it's not in the right place. Like it should be doing that beating stuff a little farther over. Like it should be running up. There's a little thing it should be flipping against. I'm going to be brave. Perhaps foolish. No, I'm not. I just want to get it back. Where it will let me, maybe. Flashlight. I just want to get it so I can test it again. Perhaps I should not have turned it off. Oh, this is possible? No. Better, but no. Maybe this time. Okay, I'm going to try something else here. I believe there was a way to have it test itself. Alright, I'm going to try. I really don't want to break this. No, it doesn't want to go. Oh, okay. If I turn that ever so slightly. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Okay, so here's what am I going to do. I'm going to run this fine program. Because, you know, part of this whole thing is it could just be in need of some exercise. So, I'm going to list this program. I'm going to move it up to the top of the screen. Sorry the screen looks so terrible on there. And I'm going to put in 5 for I, and I don't know why everyone uses I, but they do it seems, for I equals 1 to 100. And then in 35, I'm going to say next I. So I'm going to type in run. And this, oh, file, open. Oh, right you are. Okay. Run. Now, all I'm doing here is giving this a bit of a workout. Will it help any? I don't know. It's still not advancing the paper. Which is too bad. There are many little gears in here. hard to see. Who knows, maybe one's missing. Uh-oh. Okay, it didn't go back. I think now it's going to run into trouble. Perhaps even just a little tiny bit of machine oil is needed. Oh, this can't be good. But, you know what, the gears are just tiny little nylon things. I'm going to press stop, if I can. Okay. Maybe I'll try running it again, see if it... No. The head is just sitting. Oh. At the right side. Okay. So, let's see. I would rather work with all these gears and things than against them. Like there's skinny little wires on here. It may be. Alright. Let's see what happens. Now. Alright, that's different. But not much. Alright, this. Let's see. Okay, so definitely we are having some sort of errors in this whole thing, figuring out where it is. Because now it's moving farther and farther across, and it's not coming back. Alright, I think it's time to turn it off. Generating a device not present error. But maybe, as has happened before, a time or two, it will respond favorably. It is trying to respond favorably. Okay, it moved a little bit. Maybe there is a bad thing on a gear here. I don't know. Okay, it moved a little bit. It is very hard to see. But we are getting closer. Still, we are getting a flashing error light. But I think we are closer. I'm going to just give it one last little tweak. Nope. Not there yet. We are close. Somehow, I really don't want to force this. This looks good. Nope. And I wonder if I press run. No. Device not present. It should be present. Maybe because of the error message. Alright, so here we have a Commodore 1520. When I get to a certain point, it does feel like there's a little more resistance. Nope. Anyway, here we have a Commodore 1520 plotter printer. I have no idea how many of these were made. I remember using one. And I would, you know what, I always found them to be a most sort of cherished part of many people's collections. Come on. I just want to test you again. No, it is not happening. So, I am thinking that perhaps some lubrication might be helpful. And maybe a little bit of a rest, because this is certainly, this is more action than it's seen in probably 20 or 25 years. Oh dear. Let's just try a couple more times. Nope. I'm just going to turn the pen thing. Nope. Nope. Oh. No, we're not there. It is hard to imagine all these little itty, like, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a lot of tiny gears and wires here. Well, it's funny. It really, it wants to. I sense. Well, I think the trouble, I'm just trying to look at all the funny bits here. Somehow, it certainly is not aware of its location. Because as I remember, what's supposed to happen is it is supposed to fling itself back across when it starts up. Because you never know what position it would have been in when it stopped. Well, if well, it might not penalize. If any of you have any experience with such things, I would really love to hear. Because, you know, I don't know. I can see the pin's not in the right place. It's very strange. But I suppose all it takes is one little sensor or one little something to be off. Well, I guess I will not be testing this anymore. At this exact moment. Because it just isn't happening. So, I'm suspecting I will perhaps look for any information online. There is also the possibility it just needs a rest. And don't we all? So, for the moment, I will leave this turned off. Just hoping it might have just decided for 1 second to come back. Nope. Okay, so I guess it's time to bid farewell for this moment on this 1520 printer plotter adventure. I'm sure you will see it again at another time. Unfortunately, here we continue to be in the Twilight Zone.